So, Felix, could you sum up your presentation?
Okay, so we've been talking about neuroplasticity in tech, which neuroplasticity describes the brain's ability to physically rewire and adapt to the stimuli we give it. And this is particularly interesting in a world where we're completely inundated with technology, and with the rise of the internet, mobile connectivity and social media, every part of our lives is completely overwhelmed with technology. And we were really trying to get to grips with what is this doing to our brains. So we carried out a neuroscience research piece where we looked at when people are having high levels of multitasking, how is this affecting their brand recall, their emotional engagement and their distraction. And what we found was that when people are overwhelmed with all these different tasks, they're much less emotionally engaged with ads, they're much more distracted, and they have much less conscious processing to deal with these things. So we highlighted five points that brands can take out to capitalize on this and find smarter ways to reach people. And the overarching point to take out of it was about simplicity. So brands are creating more and more complex things, and it's just contributing to this maelstrom of information. And what we're proposing is that brands should go back to simplicity and find simple ways to get their messages across to audiences which are completely overwhelmed with information.
Great. And in your opinion, how brands evolve for the future?
Well, brands that survive and become more successful and thrive in this environment will really have to think smarter about how they're reaching people. So things like appealing to the non-conscious brain is a really important part of this. So all of our information that we consciously process has to go through a funnel called cognitive load, which is limited, and we're really maxing out on that. But you can still take in lots of information through your non-conscious. And brands can start to think about how to do this by using their key brand assets in very clever ways. And that could be your logo, your brand colors, your silhouette of your products, and we need to start thinking about how we can use these more inventively to build mental availability with our audiences. We also need to start thinking about how we can use context a lot more to make people realize that things are relevant to them. So if we're creating a video piece, how can we personalize it? How can we bring in use APIs to bring in data and make it more contextually relevant to them? And finally, how can we, when we're creating TV ads, if we're when we sell in a TV ad at the moment, we're only selling it in using a storyboard. But a storyboard doesn't convey one of the most important pieces of information when people are overloaded with different channels, is audio. We need to think a lot more about audio in TVCs, because when people are looking at their phones, the only way to get them to look back up and pay attention is having some really disruptive audio.
Okay, thank you very much.